the job scan one. This is probably the longest one, and there was another one after that. All right, guys.
I have a good one too.
Okay, I'll let you go after this one. I just got job scam. I'm really disappointed for almost completely falling for it. I've been trying so hard to find a job in this economy, and when this recruiter reached out to me, I thought my luck was beginning to turn. But I'm such an idiot. The rest of this experience you're about to read is going to be extremely lengthy and sound very cringe. How it started was through Handshake. I applied to a job for a remote position as a data entry specialist that didn't require any prior experience and only a high school degree because I literally have nothing on my resume after graduating college. I didn't realize the title of the company name was not legitimate. Like, it was a company called Nutra Data Inc. The Inc. should have been typed as capital INC period for professional companies. I got the offer from a recruiter with that job I applied for, linked to it, but they welcomed me for an interview with a different company name, Pacific Depot. When I clicked the link to the job post I applied for, it was gone, but they wanted me to message them on Microsoft Teams for an interview and provided the link. I clicked it and we started messaging to set up a proper interview. They gave me a survey to fill out as their way of interviewing and I completed it. They asked me to log in again the next morning at a specific time. I logged in the next morning hours earlier than agreed upon, but they still told me I got the job offer anyway. I was so glad because I desperately needed insurance, which they were offering for the job. I accepted the offer and they started the onboarding process. So then I was told that I'll be starting this month on the 27th and that I would need to acquire, I've seen this scam before, I would need to acquire the equipment needed for the job position, and they were giving a lot. A whole new laptop, iPad, desk chair, and everything. Then they asked me what bank institutions I use so they can send me the checks to purchase the items from their selected vendors. I told them, and then they sent me the checks through email, and I tried to deposit in my account.
What? They sent the checks through what?
They sent the checks to purchase the items from their selected vendors. I told them to send me the checks through email, and then
Thank you. Hello? What are you talking about? How did they send you a check through email?
That is blasphemous.
I really don't get how he fell for this. Now, let's see where we at. And try to deposit in my account. The checks were placed on hold for process and would be available on the 25th, about 2 days before I had to be prepared to start the job. So I told them how long it would take, and then they urged me to buy the items as soon as possible because 2 days to buy and deliver the items to my house after the check cleared was not going to be enough time to prepare. Then they proceeded to ask me if I could purchase the items with my own money and that I'll be reimbursed later with those checks incoming. I said I only have so much of the equipment to buy with about $1,000 currently in my bank. I'm bluffing because I sensed something was wrong at this moment. They told me to use what I had and urged me to continue with the purchasing process. I agreed, and then they instructed me on how they want me to buy the equipment from the authorized affiliate vendors. They asked me to use a phone number given by their affiliate vendor and use Apple Pay, sending $1,000.
Oh my God.
That's it. I set up my Apple Pay and then took a step back. Who are these vendors anyway? I know a vendor typically has a legitimate name and source, so I asked them, may I ask who the vendor is I'll be purchasing this equipment from? They paused, then replied, companies authorized affiliated vendors. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. I asked again. I understand, but I would like to know what is the exact name of the vendor. They paused again, longer this time. Then a message glitch happened. They replied with my name backwards and said, his name is Scott.
Oh my God. This is a mess.
I would like to know the name of the vendor Scott works for and the equipment I would be buying from him. They asked me, how much do I have to purchase the equipment? That wasn't my request, I told them. As mentioned earlier, I only have about $1,000 to possibly purchase a few of the items needed for this job. But before I proceed to send this, I would like to know the name of the vendors I'll be purchasing this equipment from and what exact equipment I will be buying from them. They listed out 3 useless items, 2 of which was not part of the initial list of equipment the company was going to provide for this job. It wasn't even important equipment. It was computer specs and software. How would I use those without a PC they claimed they were going to provide? Why wouldn't they suggest I purchase the PC over anything else? They also gave me the same name for the vendor this time. It's Scott Malcolm. So then it was clear to me this job offer was a complete scam. I shouldn't have had to ask them 3 times for a name if it were a legitimate company from legitimate vendors. I shouldn't have to send my money first to an unknown number through text messages. The number they wanted me to send the money to, I was curious if they were a real vendor. And since it was my money, I wanted to see if I can get the confirmation from the vendor themselves about their partnership with the company. The person on the other end had no idea what I was talking about and told me I had the wrong number. I then contacted the recruiter again, telling them how I felt about this process. I told them how I don't feel like they answered my questions fully, and I don't feel comfortable proceeding with the purchase if they never gave me a proper name on the vendor. They still asked me a few minutes later if I would proceed, and I eliminated the onboarding process. And with that, they finally end our wonderful conversation with, "Okay, thanks for wasting my time." And me being stupid and petty replied, "No problem. Your AI could use some improvements." The scammer then replied, "Will AI send you a check?" A check I'm sure was going to bounce if I had agreed to give my money to a mysterious vendor. I then said, "You may cancel that process," and report blocked, and completely ended the conversation. This was the most embarrassing and dumbest experience of my life.
Well, I mean, it wasn't that embarrassing and dumb because you didn't follow through with a lot of it. You asked some good questions at the appropriate times to get yourself out of that situation.
No, it's definitely embarrassing.
I still can't. The email me the check. The buy your own equipment. First of all, they had me stuck. They had me stuck there. Then we gonna email you a check. Then Apple Pay. What? Apple Pay is crazy.
Apple Pay,
a phone number.
The crazy thing is, so most of the girls know this.
How
but,
much money do you have?
Right.
It's crazy.
And I would just throw the number in Cash App.
I was just thinking that. I literally was just thinking that. But at least he called to get,
Yeah, that's the oldest trick in the book. They'll I wish I probably could find it somewhere in my email. I had a client at the time. They really were trying to get a job at the time, and they were so anxious to get one to where it was one of them things where they had to fill out a survey and say, "You got the job." I was like, "You think this job paying you?" I forgot what they was paying him at the time. We're trying to allege they was going to pay him, but it was like $75,000, $85,000. I said, "You think they're going to pay you $85,000 and all you had to do was fill out a questionnaire?" Mm-hmm. I said, "This is not legitimate." And he was like, "Dang, yeah, you're right. I should have known, but I think I was just anxious." Yeah, I know, genuine. But, good things come to those that wait. If a company's trying to send you a check to buy something, no. Mostly, you would never have to buy company equipment to work for somebody. If anything, they have these different type of ordeals where, you get these allowances to where you could buy stuff for your home office and then they'll reimburse you, stuff like that. But it's not to really do the job. It's like, "Oh, I want me a computer desk," or "I want a new chair."
I feel like that's illegal.
What?
What they were trying to get him. The whole thing was illegal, but I feel like that's illegal.
Yeah,
there's got to be some.
Yeah, because
there
they
has
was going
to be
to
some
take
separation.
they was going
of
to take the
balances.
money and then leave him stuck with whatever happened.
Because usually you have a company card, which is tied to some sort of bank account that the company is then liable for.
Well, not even that. I'm just talking on a lower level of, well, if you starting a job, because everybody don't get a company card.
Well, no. Before that, though, if they're asking you to purchase it, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
Usually, you have a corporate card, but if in this circumstance, usually there's an online inventory, and you go through and you choose. They might give you some options to choose which device for your particular role, or it might already be this is the device we have slated for everybody that starts. Like, it's insane.
Nah, fact.